Shalom, friends. Today is a very important day, a major milestone for me, but not just me, for everybody out there doing Daf Yomi. 1,355 days are behind us. 1,355 days are ahead. This is the midpoint of our 7.5-year journey. Quite a lot has changed in my personal life and also, the world since we began this cycle. So I thought it might be fun/interesting to read and react to an article I wrote way back in the beginning of this whole thing, so we can see what on earth I thought I was doing at the time. Here we go. By 5:45 this morning, I had already completed my Daf Yomi daily page of Talmud. I am participating in a unique worldwide book club where tens of thousands of Jews study one page of the Talmud per day, with everyone moving at the same pace and everyone on the same page. The last cycle of learning ended on January 4th, 2020, and I started on January 5th with the new cycle. That's right, I'm on day 2, and I only have 2,709 days to go. Girl, you made it halfway. Daf Yomi is an international practice first started in 1923 to study the entire Babylonian Talmud, which is the main text of Rabbinic Judaism. Yes, happy 100th birthday, Daf Yomi. A page a day might sound like nothing, but allow me to tell you how wrong you are. Girl, I had no idea how wrong I was. Each page is a double-sided maze of content, with multiple sections of intergenerational rabbinic commentary to be sifted through and puzzled over. The sections of the page mirror our geographic diaspora too, with the oldest sections originating in the land of Israel, the next in Babylonia, followed by commentaries from Europe and beyond. The Talmud is divided into 37 volumes, each exploring different aspects of Jewish law, halakha, and a whole bunch of other stuff is what I learned. Whole bunch of other stuff. You'll find anything relevant to Jewish life in these tractates, from what time to say the Shema, the central prayer of Judaism, to how to avoid any demon skulking around abandoned buildings near you. My favorite part. What's funny is those topics were day 1 and day 2 of study, respectively. Every page assumes knowledge of other pages and of the rabbinic personalities and voices within. It's the ultimate intertextual study. So the Daf Yomi cycle begins with Tractate Brachot, and after that we go on to Shabbos, Eruvin, Pesachim, Shekalim, which is actually technically not from the Babylonian Talmud, but from the Yerushalmi, but we do it in Daf Yomi anyway, Yoma, Sukkah, Beitza, Rosh Hashanah, Ta'anit, which is when I began filming these videos, Megillah, Moed Katan, Chagiga, Yevamot, Ketubot, Nidarim, Nazir, Sota, Gittin, and right now we are in Kiddushin. So that is how many tractates we've done thus far. Okay, back to the story. Why am I doing this? What a great question. I'm not alone in taking on this commitment to Daf Yomi this cycle. Daf Yomi Facebook groups have burgeoning numbers of new members, many commenting on how they are excited to do Daf Yomi for the first time. In addition to Orthodox men, for which this is old black hat, there are Orthodox feminist Daf Yomi groups, a queer Daf Yomi Slack channel, Twitter and Instagram accounts dedicated to talking about the Daf, and humorous takes on the learning presented in tongue-in-cheek ways. Little did I know I would become one of those individuals. And see how much has changed since then? I still was on Facebook, and Twitter had not been the victim of a hostile takeover at that point. There's a palpable feeling of excitement among a diverse global group of people taking on this huge commitment to Jewish learning and engaging in a radical act of Jewish unity. Some people learn the Daf through a podcast, which I did this morning while doing my makeup. Others use Sefaria, which I did yesterday. Others meet every day on their commute on the Long Island Railway to learn together. I probably won't do that one. To this day, I use Sefaria and I use that podcast, the Hadron Daf Yomi podcast by Rabbanit Michelle Farber, every single day. There are many converging reasons that this enthusiasm for the Daf Yomi practice is happening now. Conveniently, the beginning of this cycle corresponds to the beginning of the Gregorian calendar year. So for some, this is a New Year's resolution. Maybe it was the huge celebrations of thousands of Jews around the world who completed the last cycle that seemed so appealing. Maybe someone's inspiration was this one guy dressed as Waldo amongst all the 90,000 black-clad Jews at the MetLife Stadium celebration on New Year's Day. I know others were inspired by articles written by Jews just completing the previous cycle. Dr. Erica Brown tweeted the Daily Learning and discussed her reflections on studying Talmud as a female scholar in a recent article that was profoundly motivating to me. I believe that in no small part the groundswell of interest in Daf Yomi is also a reaction to the horrific anti-Semitic attacks that happened over Hanukkah this year in New York. My mom emailed me shortly after the Muncie machete attack to ask if I was still interested in doing Daf Yomi with the new cycle. I had been thinking about it for several years in a kind of casual, non-committal way ever since I was lucky enough to hear Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks of blessed memory talk about the process in person in the one lunch and learn that changed someone's life. But as I read the email from my mom, everything clicked into place for me. Yes, damn right, I was going to do Daf Yomi this cycle. To me, this is the best fuck you I can level at worldwide anti-Semitism. A fuck you that will take me more than 7 years to finish saying. Halfway through saying it now. Hate me as a Jew, then I will become 10,000% more invested in Jewishness past, present, and future than I already am. I am an atheist, but that has no bearing on the value of this study for me. In the face of attacks on Jews, I am dedicating myself to increasing my Jewish literacy, my knowledge of the Mishnah and the Gemara, my interest in what Rashi has to say about things, and my connection to my Jewish mishpacha around the world. I refuse to be ignorant of my own intellectual heritage or my place in the continuum of the story of the Jewish people. It doesn't matter how vociferously we Jews differ from each other on every matter under the sun. That's a quality that makes us more similar to the rabbis of the Talmud hundreds and hundreds of years ago, not less. Together we are stronger than those who hate us. I stand by that, 100%. That's facts. As my friend and study partner Dan said, Shalom Dan, this is way outside my comfort zone and something I would have never imagined myself doing, maybe even a month ago. But to know I'm in this worldwide conversation, a massive Jewish book club, until I'm qualified for AARP membership, that's very powerful. Whether we're atheists, lapsed Reform Jews, Jews by choice, Jewish curious, or yeshiva graduates, we are all putting ourselves into a timeless and frankly endless conversation with each other and our ancestors. Amen, Dan. Amen. Here's to day 3. So here we are. I would have never expected back then any of the unbelievable ways my life has changed. So I want to start the second half of this journey with gratitude. Thank you to all the teachers of Talmud who I have learned from and been inspired by. Thank you to all the people with whom I have studied in Chavruta. Thank you to everybody who has followed me on social media to watch this experiment in Jewish identity through Jewish learning unfold. Thank you to everybody who has decided to walk with me on this Daf Yomi journey in a very literal way and taken it on themselves. I salute you. Thank you also to the enemies, Shalom enemies, for being so incredibly motivating to keep doing this. Thank you to everybody who donated this summer so that I could keep making this content. Thank you to everybody who supports on like a monthly reoccurring basis, which is now a tax-deductible option, link in bio. My gratitude is overwhelming. Thank you. Thank you to the generations upon generations of Jewish learners who paved the way. And I know some people might laugh when I say this, but thank you to the sages for standing at a pivotal moment in Jewish history and looking back into the past to where we had been, and also looking into the future to where we would go. Mazel tov to each and every person out there who is doing Daf Yomi, who has reached this point. It is not easy, and if anyone tells you it is easy, they are lying. Onwards to the next 1,355 days. We got this.